morning children. Welcome to Komando group of virtual classes. Let me introduce myself to you. This is Pavani, your biology teacher. Congratulations for all of you children as you promoted from grade 7 to grade 8. You heard the word biology? Yes, you heard. I know that. Why? Because as already you heard the lesson 1. Is it not? That's why you know the word biology. So, today let me introduce what is biology, who is the father of biology, what are the different branches of biology. So, let us coming to the first, what is biology? So, the word biology is derived from the Greek word bios and logos. What is the meaning of bios? Bios means life. Logos means study. So, biology is a branch of science which studies about the living organisms. So, study of life is called biology. So, it is a branch of natural science. So, biology is a branch of natural science. So, before going to discuss who is the father of biology, let us know what is the difference between living things and non-living things. I thought you already learned in the primary classes. Is it or not, children? The living things can able to grow, but whereas the non-living things unable to grow. The living things able to respire, but whereas the non-living things unable to respire. So, like this, there is a difference between the living things and non-living things. The living things can able to produce one new offspring, but whereas the non-living things unable to produce the offspring. So, here in biology subject, we will discuss about all the living organisms which are present in our surroundings. Now, let us know who is the father of biology. Who is the father of biology? So, Aristotle. See this picture? Aristotle is the father of biology. Why? What is his contribution to make him as the father of biology? So, the main contribution made by Aristotle to make as father of biology is he classified all the living organisms into different categories based on their similarities, differences and evolutionary characters. So, this was the contribution made by the Aristotle to make him as the father of biology. Okay, students? Next, let us know some introduction about the Aristotle. So, Aristotle was born in the year 384 BC in the place Stagira, which is located in the northern Greece. So, here whatever discoveries or whatever logics introduced or discovered by Aristotle was compiled under a set of 6 books by name Organon. So, here Aristotle discoveries were kept under a 6 set of books known as Organon, which was done by his followers. So he is the father of biology. Aristotle is the father of biology. So how the biology is a branch of science, just like that there are so many branches in biology. So here the three main branches in biology are botany, zoology, microbiology. So these are the three main branches present in biology. The first one is the botany. The first one is the botany. The branch of science which deals about the plants are called as botany. The branch of science which studies about the plants is called botany. So, you know children, the plants are playing the major role in our life. Do you know or not? Yes, you know already, you read in the grade 7. How? So, if you take the example of the plant, so the plants have the capacity to prepare its own food by the process of photosynthesis. So, here the plants are preparing its own food. It is not depending on any other living organisms. That's why the plants are called as autotrophs. So, the organisms which prepare its own food is called autotrophs. So, by the process of photosynthesis, it is preparing its food. So, the father of botany is Theophrastus. Who is the father of botany? Theophrastus. He is the father of botany. Next, coming to the zoology. So, the branch of science which deals about the animals is called zoology. So, here under zoology subject, we will learn about what are the different characteristics of animals, what is its structure, what is its function, how it will reproduce. So, the zoology deals about the animals. So, here all the animals are depending on either plants or other animals for their food. So, the animals are called as the heterotrophs. The organisms which are depending on the other animals or plants for their food are called heterotrophs. So, the plants are autotrophs whereas the animals are heterotrophs. So, here the animals are depending on plants for their food. But whereas some animals depending on the other animals for their food. So, directly or indirectly it is depending on the either plants or animals for their food. Hence it is called as the heterotrophs. Next, the third one, which is the main branch of the biology, is the microbiology. So, the branch of science which deals about or which studies about the microorganisms is called microbiology. Do you know children, some organisms are there which are not visible to our naked eye. We have to use the microscope to observe these animals, to observe these organisms. So, these microorganisms are friends and foes to us. Friends are nothing but these organisms. Sometimes it may help us, sometimes it may damage us. How it will damage? Maybe some microorganisms causes diseases to us, just like that. But whereas some microorganisms help for us, how it will help for us? Whereas if you take the example of the fermentation, so here the bacteria, the yeast cells are helping to make the curd, from milk to the curd. So These are the three main branches of biology: botany, zoology, and microbiology. So who is the father of microbiology? So here is the picture. Antony van Leeuwenhoek was the father of microbiology. So these are the main branches in biology. Just like this, there are so many branches in biology. Suppose if you take the example of cytology. So the study of cells, the branch of science which deals about the study of cells is called cytology. Next, histology. So the study of tissues is called histology. Next, entomology. The study of insects is called entomology. If you take the example of ornithology, the study of birds is called ornithology. Suppose if you take the example of taxonomy. What is meant by taxonomy? It is also a branch of biology. So taxonomy is nothing but the branch of science which studies about the external characters of any living organism. Either may be a plant or an animal. So it is the taxonomy. Next, suppose we take the example of anatomy. The internal structure of the plant or animal. Suppose the branch of science which is studying about the internal structure of the particular organism, it is called as the anatomy. Next, coming to the one more branch of biology, embryology. So here the branch of science which studies about the embryos are called embryology. So like this, there are so many branches in biology. Okay children? So now as already we got the introduction up to now biology. As already we completed our first lesson. What is our first lesson? What is science? What is science? So what you learned in that lesson? So you learned that different branches of biology. Is it or not children? We learned different branches of science we learned in the first lesson. Next, we also learned what is the scientific method. What is the scientific method? The specific method which will be followed by the scientist to find out the new innovation is called the scientific method. Again, we learned so many steps in the scientific method. Is it or not children? In scientific method, there are few steps which makes our discovery to success. Is it or not? So, and we also learned that what are the different individual perspective of science and societal perspective of science. Individual perspective of science. So, how the individual is depending on the science nowadays and how it is essential for us. So, that we discussed in the previous lesson. And we also discussed about the societal perspective in the first lesson. So, scientific method includes the 5 steps. The first step is the observing and asking questions. The second step includes how we have to make the hypothesis. The third step includes the how we have to plan an experiment. The fourth step includes how we have to conduct an experiment. The fifth step includes the interpretation of the data. So, here the scientific method includes the 5 steps. If we follow these 5 steps, whenever we are doing our experiment, then only our experiment will be successful. Then only we will get the expected result. So next, coming to that, so I told that we have to follow the scientific method whenever we are doing the experiments. Suppose if we follow if we have to do the experiment, what precautions we have to take, what measures we have to take in order to fulfill or in order to make successful our experiment. Suppose whenever we are entering into the lab, we have to take the necessary measures. Suppose we have to be wear the apron and we have to be care whenever we are using the acids. So whenever we are using the burner, we have to keep aside the sodium bicarbonate, which for the our safety. Just like that, we have to take the precautions whenever we are planning an experiment. So not only the measures we have to follow, but we need some skills in order to perform the experiment. What are those skills? That also we already read in our first lesson. So accuracy. Suppose if we are measuring anything, we have to measure it accurately. Suppose in order to do the experiment, suppose if we are reading anything, we have to read and we have to get the information very concentration. So like this, we have to follow the necessary steps in order to get the expected result from the experiment. Next, coming to the what is science. So here we also learned what is meant by astrophysics, what is meant by chemistry. So we know that. So the person who studies about the stars, galaxies, so he is called as the astrophysicist. Next, coming to the branch of science, chemistry, that also we already learned in the first lesson. So the branch of science which deals about the chemical reactions is called chemistry. So like that, there are so many branches in science. Okay, whoever scientist, he innovated something, but we have to learn still more. So whatever discovery did by the previous scientist, it may be changed. Why it will be changed? Based on the other discoveries. So whenever we say that it is the scientific method, so without proof, the scientists never believe anything. Without proof, the scientists never believe anything. So that is the scientific method. So these all we studied in the lesson 1. What is science? Next, coming to our second lesson, cell, the basic unit of life. Cell is the basic unit of life. So, in this lesson, what we will study is, so, first of all, we will study that who discovered the cell, and it will be followed by the different cells in the onion peel and the cheeks. So, how we have to conduct this experiment? What is the procedure? What are the apparatus required to perform these two experiments? How we have to perform? Next, next again we will Robert Brown significant observation also we will learn in the lesson 2, and we also learn the what are the diversity of cells, differences. So cell is a basic unit of life. That means it is present both in plant and animals. So, what are the different cells present in the organisms? So, here like this we will study in the lesson 2. Children, what we discussed in this session? What is biology? What are the different branches of biology? So, what are the three different branches of biology? Three different main branches of biology. So, the word biology is derived from the Greek word bios and logos. And what are the three main branches of biology? Botany, zoology and microbiology. And we know that who is the father of biology also? Aristotle is the father of biology. Along with this, we also discussed that cytology, histology, embryology, taxonomy, anatomy. So, like this, we discussed the different branches of biology. And we also discussed who is the father of botany. Theophrastus is the father of botany. Zoology. Father of zoology is Aristotle. Next, who is the father of microbiology? Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. He is the father of microbiology. So, that we discussed in the today's section. So, in the next session, we discussed that how the cell is the basic unit of the life. So, here we will discuss about, suppose if we observe in our surroundings, we discuss each and every organism is made up of the cell. A small microorganism to the fuse conifers. So, each and every living organism is made up of the cell. So, like this, we will study about the cell, the basic unit of the life in the next session.